Maybe this is a weird question, but with the fellows that I work with, this is something that I recognize, and I know there's a trend too of falling testosterone levels.
Mhm.
If you don't consume enough cholesterol, would that negatively affect your ability to synthesize testosterone, or would your body be able to just create it just naturally anyways, and it wouldn't have a big effect? Do you know if that would be a contributing factor to low testosterone, not
Well,
actually eating enough?
yeah, it's hard just by not eating enough to get your cholesterol level that low that it would be a problem. But
Right.
it does become a concern when we have people on medications to be lowering their cholesterol level to very low levels. That is going to then have an impact on being able to make these essential hormones like the sex hormones. The more common problem that I guess I see is that people with poor metabolic health overall tend to have low testosterone levels because, again, metabolic health is referring to your body's ability to be doing all of the cellular level metabolic processes that we need to be doing. One of them is making hormones like testosterone. And so what I commonly encounter is men with low testosterone levels. My first thought is, let's look at your metabolic health. Let's improve your metabolic health and see if that ends up improving your testosterone levels. The other sort of indirect problem that I see on these low fat diets, specifically, I'll point out the vegan diet, but it's not necessarily restricted to vegans, is that if you're avoiding animal proteins essentially because you're worried about the saturated fat and you're not getting adequate protein levels, you're going to have low levels of muscle mass. And that is something else that contributes to your testosterone levels. We know that men that have low levels of muscle also have low testosterone levels. Those are probably the two biggest problems I see around testosterone and just metabolic health and muscle mass in general. And there's end up being indirectly related to the amount of cholesterol that you're eating, but it's not really that direct relationship.
Like everything, it's always multifactorial, right? Like
Yeah.
you have one issue, but that is usually related to another issue that you're not addressing. So if we just look at this like big picture, if you have a poor diet, meaning you eat too much sugar, you smoke,
Yeah.
and you're stressed out, you need to start seriously considering some lifestyle changes, because you're now, by my calculations, that's 4.7, let's say another 4, that's like a 20x increase in your chances of coronary heart disease just by those three factors alone, which likely smoking has drastically fallen in the last 20 years since I joined the military. Like half the
Right.
platoon used to smoke. Now to find a troop that smokes is super rare. It's just not a thing. So that's a good thing. But the other two, like stress and eating too many carbohydrates, very much prevalent. Like it's something that in the military anyways, like our meals are heavily carb based, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just like big freaking hay boxes full of like carby, starchy food, right? Keep you going in the field, and it just carries over, right? You just keep on eating that way. We get our protein, but it's just interesting from a soldier's perspective. Yeah, we don't smoke anymore, but definitely the stress levels and definitely the carbohydrates are something that are prevalent within our community and our diets, and typically carry over once we're in the veteran world and like we're out of the military. So very interesting to note on that front.